Imagine the moment. The sun is gone. It is not an eclipse. It is not a passing cloud. The colossal star that anchored our world has vanished from the fabric of space-time. Suddenly, the sky is empty. A profound and total darkness falls over the planet, a darkness deeper than any night we have ever known. The silence that follows is just as absolute. No birds chirp to mark a dawn that will never come. The hum of civilization begins to falter, the sounds of traffic, life fading into an eerie stillness. The world is plunged into an eternal twilight, lit only by the distant, cold pinpricks of unfamiliar stars. The cold arrives almost instantly. It is not a gentle chill. It is a sharp, biting cold that seeps through every crack and crevice. The air itself feels thin and brittle against the skin. People retreat indoors, sealing doors and windows against the encroaching frost. They search for warmth, for light, for any semblance of the world they knew only hours before. But the planet's primary furnace has been extinguished. The relentless thermodynamic arrow of time now points only one way, toward a deep and final freeze. The familiar rhythm of day and night is broken forever, replaced by one long, unending night. The initial shock gives way to a creeping dread. Out on the streets, frost begins to lace the pavement, sketching delicate, crystalline patterns over silent cars and empty playgrounds. The world becomes a monochromatic photograph of itself, stripped of the vibrant colors that sunlight once painted. In this new reality, the moon is a ghost, a dark orb hanging in the sky, offering no reflected light, no comfort. It is still there, tethered by gravity for now, but its purpose as a celestial mirror is gone. The sky is a vast, black canvas, and we are adrift in its cold emptiness. What do you do when the sky is no longer a source of light and warmth? You look down, you look inward. In the first week, the average global temperature plummets. Without the sun's constant energy input, the Earth bleeds its warmth into the void of space. The land cools much faster than the oceans. Continents once teeming with life are the first to succumb. Photosynthesis ceases completely. Plants can no longer convert sunlight into energy. The world's great forests, fields of green, begin to wither and die, their leaves turning a brittle brown before falling to the hardening ground. The entire food chain collapses from the bottom up. Herbivores starve, the predators that hunt them soon follow. The oceans act as the planet's temporary life support. They hold on to their warmth for months, a vast, dark reservoir of fading heat. Great storms rage across the coastlines, driven by impossibly cold winds sweeping over the still warm water. But this is temporary. Ice begins to form at the poles. Ice forms along the shores, spreading like a crystalline disease across the water's surface. After several months, the planet's transformation is dramatic. Surface temperatures on land fall well below freezing, reaching around -100 degrees Celsius in many places. The once mighty oceans are capped with a thick layer of ice, in places meters deep. This ice insulates deeper water, slowing the freezing of the abyss, but the surface world is a frozen desert. Almost all surface life perishes. Only the most resilient microorganisms survive. Human survival is limited to a few desperate holdouts, likely deep underground, tapping into geothermal heat from the Earth's core. The atmosphere itself begins to change. Gases start to condense and precipitate as exotic snows. Carbon dioxide falls as frost. Nitrogen falls as frost. The sky thins and changes composition. The Earth becomes a silent white orb, a stark contrast to the vibrant blue marble it once was. Years pass. The Earth no longer resembles the world of our memory. It has become a sphere of ice, a rogue planet wandering through the dark. The ice covering the oceans is now kilometers thick, a solid, unmoving crust that has crushed the last vestiges of surface motion. The continents are buried under an even deeper layer of frozen atmosphere and snow, a permanent ice age from which there is no escape. The familiar shapes of mountains and valleys are softened, smoothed over by an eternal blanket of white. The planet's surface is now colder than anything experienced in its history, plunging to temperatures that make even Antarctica's coldest day seem balmy. There are no more storms, no weather to speak of. The concept of weather itself requires energy gradients, and with the sun gone, the Earth has reached a cold equilibrium. The only sounds might be the occasional crack of the ice crust, a deep, groaning sound as tectonic stresses shift the planet's frozen shell. But these are rare events in a world defined by an overwhelming, absolute stillness. The Earth has become a tomb for itself. The loss of the sun causes a crisis not just for Earth, but for the entire solar system. Gravity, as Einstein taught us, is the curvature of space-time caused by mass. The sun, containing 99.8% of the system's mass, created a deep gravity well that held all the planets in their stable, predictable orbits. When the sun vanishes, that gravity well vanishes with it. The planets, which were in constant motion, are suddenly released from their gravitational leash. They do not stop moving. Instead, they continue along a straight line, tangent to their orbital position at disappearance. Even on a frozen, rogue planet, life might not be completely extinguished. The story of survival shifts from the surface to the deep, dark places of the world. Miles beneath the ice-capped oceans, near the geothermal vents that line the ocean floor, ecosystems could persist. These are the black smokers, hydrothermal vents that spew superheated, mineral-rich water from the planet's interior. On the Earth we knew, these vents supported unique communities of life. Chemosynthetic bacteria, tube worms, strange crustaceans that derive their energy not from sunlight, but from the chemical reactions fueled by the Earth's inner heat. These oases of warmth would become the last arcs of terrestrial life. For these organisms, the disappearance of the sun would be a non-event. Their existence has always been independent of the light, as long as the Earth's core remains hot, and it will for billions of years. These vents will continue to function. Life in these abyssal refuges would continue its slow, ancient dance in the crushing pressure and total darkness. It is a humbling thought. In the end, the most resilient life on Earth might be the life that never knew the sun in the first place. Could humanity join them? It is a staggering feat of engineering to imagine, but not outside the realm of possibility. With enough warning and technological prowess, humans could build self-sustaining habitats in the deepest parts of the ocean, harnessing geothermal energy for power and warmth. This would be a new chapter in human evolution, a species adapting to live in the abyss. These deep-sea dwellers would become the inheritors of Earth's legacy, their survival a testament to ingenuity and will. This deep, hidden biosphere represents a profound lesson about life itself. Life is tenacious, it is adaptable, it exploits every available niche, every available source of energy. While the surface world becomes a static museum of ice, the planet's heart would continue to beat with a faint geothermal pulse. This internal heat, a remnant of the planet's violent formation, would be the final, lingering signature of a living world. The echoes of life would not be heard on the winds, but in the silent, superheated water of the planet's deepest trenches. After the initial terror, after the long, slow freeze, a new perspective can emerge. The loss of the sun, while catastrophic, provides an unprecedented gift, a clear view of the universe. Without a sun to create a blue sky, with most of the atmosphere frozen and settled onto the surface, darkness is absolute and the view is spectacular. The night sky is no longer a canvas with a few thousand visible stars. It is a glittering, jaw-dropping tapestry of cosmic light. The Milky Way would not be a faint, hazy band. It would be a brilliant, churning river of stars, so bright it might cast faint shadows on the ice. The sense of dread can slowly transform into a profound sense of awe. Distant nebulae would glow with vibrant colors, reds of hydrogen gas, blues of reflected starlight, visible to the naked eye. We could watch the slow, majestic drift of our neighboring planets as they journey on their own solitary paths. We would be witnesses to the grand, silent spectacle of the galaxy, no longer blinded by the light of our local star. It is a terrifying, yet magnificent, consolation prize. Science is the tool that allows us to make this mental journey. We don't need to experience this catastrophe to understand it. Through the laws of physics, thermodynamics, gravity, astrophysics, we can model and predict the consequences. We can calculate how quickly the Earth would freeze. We can chart the new paths of the planets. This ability to imagine, to explore a future we hope never comes, is one of the greatest powers of the human mind. It turns a nightmare scenario into a thought experiment, a cosmic lesson in humility and wonder. In the end, the story of a sunless Earth is a story about perspective. It reminds us of our utter dependence on a single star in a galaxy of billions. But it also reveals the astonishing scale and beauty of the universe we inhabit.